It's a beautiful Sunday, May the 10th, 2026, and today is a special day for the ladies. We are celebrating Mother's Day. It's a one special day in a year that comes up to acknowledge the lady folks, the mothers, the people who power up this universe, this world, and keep us all in line. And to help me celebrate or give acknowledgement to the countless women, mothers out there, I have a panel of great women, great mothers. I'll let them introduce themselves so we can get the show on the road. So we have Lucretia Payne joining us, and we have Barbara Bruner and Betty Sidewell. So by way of introduction, let's start with Lucretia. Lucretia, just give us a little introduction of who you are so that people know who we're talking to.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lucretia. I am a mother of 6 children. I am married, first and foremost. I'm married, been married for 24 years to my lovely husband. And we, together we I birthed 6 children. We have 3 boys and 3 girls, and I am the oldest child. I do have experience in early childhood education, and I have ran several daycares as long as my own. And I'm happy to be here today, and it's nice meeting you all.
Great. Nice to have you. And let's go to Barbara. Barbara, introduction, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm Barbara Ngosa Katangalele Bruner. I'm a pastor, I'm a social worker, I'm a mother, and so I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. And let's go to Betty. Betty, introduce yourself to our listeners, our guests, our viewers.
Yes, thanks. No, first of all, thank you for allowing me to be part of this channel. I'm Sidwell. I've been to my husband Doug for 45 years. I am a retired accountant. We have 4 children, 12 grandchildren, and just this week we had our first great-grandson born.
Oh, I think perfect timing, right? Perfect timing.
Yes, absolutely. He's a treasure.
Good. Yeah, so the purpose for our conversation this morning, this afternoon, this evening, depending on what time you're watching us, is looking at the mothers. They are our pillars in society, because without the mothers, where would we all be? We don't know. So obviously, I'm not a mother here. I am just coordinating this conversation. So the first question that I have, I think anyone can take a stab at this. How has motherhood influenced your personal and professional life? Let's go with Lucretia.
Hi. Well, motherhood has shaped my sense of purpose by the broad ambitions. After becoming a mother, I became intentional, and I wanted to make sure that my children, as well as my husband, is properly taken care of. And I wanted to build a foundation for them where they can be able to come home and enjoy home and enjoy loves and hugs and kisses, and making sure that they know that their mother is there for them when they get off of school, when they get ready to get up in the morning. So I kind of put my own self to side, and then when I sent them to school, then it was self-time. So that's it. But my goal is to make sure that everyone was properly taken care of before I took care of myself.
I think that's true. That's true. You gotta take care of yourself first before you can take care of anybody else. Yeah. So let's go to Barbara. Barbara, take a stab at this question. What's a common misconception about modern motherhood?
I think the most misconception is that, especially now, women are focusing so much on their careers, and they feel like having children is gonna like stop them from achieving what they are supposed to achieve. But in actual sense, motherhood fulfills you. Motherhood empowers you. Motherhood gives you the push even to do better, to become better for your children, even to excel in your work, your career, and all that. So the misconception is that children will disturb you, children will stop you from becoming who you want to become. But that's the greatest misconception. Children are a blessing, and they'll fulfill you and they'll empower you to do even better.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, children can be a curse and a blessing at the same time. Just depends on the type of children. Now that brings me to the next question for Betty. Betty, how do you model resilience and self-care for children?
Oh, how do I model it for children? Self-care. Well, I think I recently retired. I'm 65 years old, and full retirement age is 67. But my career was extremely stressful, a lot of crazy deadlines, very long hours, and it was starting to affect my health. And so I retired early. It's the best decision ever. So my kids knew that I was under a lot of stress. So I think having worked at my career for 20 years, I was very dedicated to the job. And for me to put that aside so easily for the better things was for my to see.
Yeah, I think retiring gives you enough time at least to care for the little ones, and I think countless more who look up to you. So that's good. That's good. Yeah. So we're gonna take a short break, and then we'll be right back, and we'll continue the conversation, looking at the special day that we have celebrating motherhood and Mother's Day. So we'll be right back in a few seconds.
Mother's Day is important to me because it is celebrating my mother and celebrating all the moms around me, aunts, grandmas, people, family, friends, everybody just that is a mother and that was a mother and is becoming a mother. It's just celebrating their lives and the greatness that mothers bring to the world, which is bringing life. And I just love celebrating Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to my mom. I love you, Mom. Thank you for bringing me life. I'm very grateful and very blessed to be here on this earth and to be able to celebrate Mother's Day with everybody here. Thank you.
All right, so Lucretia, the question for you is, how do you navigate the juggle between family duties and personal passions?
Wow, that's a huge question because I have 6 children. I'm married with 6 children. But what I do is how I balance my day is I make sure husband is okay before he leaves out for work. I sees him off. Hugs and kisses always. And then I attend to the children and get them up one by one and make sure they're ready for school. And then after that, after I've sent them out for school, then I attend to me. So I may get my nails done, my toes done, make sure my hair is in order. I smell good. I sit and I read the Bible, or I'm listening to praise and worship, or I'm listening to some kind of prayer. I pray over the house during the day. So when they come back into home, or when they come home, the house is settled and calmed so that they won't, because, when you're out, when your children is out and they're at school, they come in with all type of problems, but if the house is settled, then their mind is settled, they're peaceful, and it just brings a different atmosphere in the home. So that's how I protect the daily activities, to make sure that they're taken care of, and then set the house clean, and if I have to cook, and then sometimes answer phone calls. Sometimes I have to do trips to the school to make sure they're okay. Sometimes I have to do field trips, but in the midst of those days, I at least take one day where I go take and get my nails and my toes done and hair, and make sure that I'm taking care of self as well. So it helps out. And then when it's time to go to sleep, I put everybody to bed, and then I can watch a movie or something like that, and then go back to it the next day. But each child get a day. Each child get a day and time of peace of me.
Yeah, I think it's good to have self-care, take care of yourself. There's so much being thrown, especially in this time and age. There's just so much coming at us from different angles. So you gotta take some time to work on those toes and sit back and relax, right?
Yes. Those moments are really nice, and you can have like your little spa time.
That's good.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Tokozile Malaikataka.
So Toko, what does Mother's Day mean to you?
Mother's Day is a holiday dedicated to honoring our mothers for all the great things they do for us.
How has your approach to parenting evolved over time?
Okay. So when I first became a mother, I would say I was a replica of my mother, because that's what I knew about motherhood. It's what my mother did, how my mother raised me. And so I did exactly as she did. I was a disciplinarian. It's my way or no way. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I followed that, because it has helped my children become more independent, strong. But I have evolved with time, because me being raised by my mother was always right. And there were things that we could not discuss. We could not talk about. Me and my mother could not talk about sex, could not talk about boyfriends. But raising my children, I've evolved and realizing that children can actually become your friends, and you can talk to them about anything and everything. Because if we don't open that door where our children feel safe and where they can run to us, no matter the situation, no matter how bad the situation is, if that door is closed, our children are going to get advice from the wrong places. So my motherhood evolved to where I opened this door where my children can come to me and talk to me about anything and everything. And I have realized that has really helped build our relationship. We are friends, and they also know when it's time for me to be a mother, they know, oh, mom has spoken. Noah, you're from Zambia. And so you know that our parents would teach us with just the eye. When your mother
give you the evil look.
Yeah. Just that tells you when the guests have gone, you will be beaten. And so my children, even as they are here in the US, I teach them still with my eye. And if there are people, I don't want to embarrass them, I'll just look at them and they know that, oh, we have misbehaved. But they are my friends. So what has evolved is that they are my friends. And we can talk about anything and everything. And they can trust me with their challenges.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's good, because you gotta trust is important for children to know that they are safe. They can go to the parents to communicate and share what they have to share, and also they gotta get the eye. You gotta give them the eye, right?
Of course. You can't just be friends with them. They gotta know that, oh, now mom, the Zambian mom is out.
That's good. That's good. No, that I totally agree with you. So moving on with our conversation, now we're gonna hear what Betty has to say, because she has now retired and she has plenty of time on her hands, I assume. Or the question for you, I have a question for you, Betty, is what conversations about motherhood would you like society to have more of?
Oh, I love this question. I would love for society to have more conversation about just motherhood. And I say that in a way that in society, so often everything is linked to career. It's like career is number one and everything else is after. And I would just love for that to get shelved and to just focus on motherhood. Just focus on what it means to be a mother from the time when you have birthed that little infant. And for some reason, when you're at the hospital, they let you leave the hospital with this little infant with no instruction book. And you take this little baby home, not knowing, not having a clue what to do. And then you learn, and then become a toddler. And all these seasons, and then there's the horrible years, teenage years, where our children all become demon possessed. They're so bad. Teenage years, it's awful, but it's a proving ground for motherhood because we never ever give up on our children. We hang in there with them, and sometimes, yeah, we've got to whoop those kids, especially in those years when they're being belligerent and trying to figure things out, and they think they know everything. You know nothing as a mom. So I think during those years, there are times that are just so precious. You can cuddle that child, or you're reading a book with that child, or you're going to the park and you're having a picnic, you're just taking walks, going to church, watching your child get saved, all the things that are so precious. But there are other times you are a young mother where you really need an older woman to come alongside you. And a lot of us have had moms that we could depend on, but not all young women have moms to depend on or grandmoms to depend on. So I think it would be wonderful today for women to just open their eyes and see those younger women. They present themselves so that we put it around them. And I think the best thing we could do is to just let them know that this too shall pass. You're going to get through this. This too shall pass.
Well said.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Lucretia Payne.
What does Mother's Day mean to you?
Mother's Day is a day to honor motherhood and mothers on their social, physical, and emotional impact they have.
All right, ladies. So we are in the final stage for our conversation up here. So I think I'll have a question here let's go back to Lucretia. Who has been your biggest ally and support as a mother? Or is there a mother that you look up to as an inspiration for you?
Well, my mom just passed away recently. It's been about
Right.
3.5 years now. But she was my greatest inspiration. Reason being is because she created rituals with us. She gave us handwritten notes. She shared breakfast with us. She made sure we had our favorite foods. She was there with all my children at birth. She did not leave the hospital until they let me out of the hospital. So she saw all six of her grandchildren being born, and I am her oldest. Um, so she did dinner with us, gratitude moments. She told me how much she was proud of me. She gave me lots of hug and kisses. We had a lot of lipstick on our faces, so I got a lot of that, which made me love hugs now. You know, nowadays children don't know how to love, so it taught me how to love on my husband and my children because she gave us so much of it. She was there when we got out of school. She didn't put her work before us. She put work to the side, and she made sure that we was properly taken care of. You know how we do microwave dinners because some of us mothers
Yeah.
are working. She made sure we had a full course meal. You know, she gave us our you got to have the protein, the vegetables, the vitamins. I had moments where she gave me cod liver oil, and I would go to run to the bathroom and spit it out because it was so nasty. But she just always made sure that we was healthy. So she was my greatest inspiration throughout my life.
That's great. That's great. Well said, Lucretia. So now, Barbara, question is, what routines or practices help you to recharge as a mom?
So for me, what helps me to recharge is just being in the presence of the Lord. You know, every time I gotta go back to Him, I gotta go back to His Word. There are times as a mother that you feel drained. You know, especially those like Betty said, the horrible teenage years. Those years are so hard, where your children feel like they know more than you. You get drained, and you just wanna hold their head and shake them and but you know, in times like that, I have learned to run back to God, and I have learned that He's always there. You know, I've learned that His word is true, and so I've learned to trust in His word. That even when I see them go astray, I know that they are safe in His palm, because the Lord Jesus says, "Those that have been given to me, none of them have been snatched out of my palm. They are safe." So that it has been my source of strength when I feel discouraged, when I feel down, when I see them messing up. I look back to God and say, "Lord, they are yours. Even this situation will work out for their good." So with time, I have learned to trust in the Lord so much, and just knowing that things will work out. Because I'm a greatest example. Because when I was their age, I would never have imagined that I would be who I am today. So if the Lord was able to change me, to transform me and make me who I am today, He surely can do that for my children. So I run back to Him and get recharged. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good to always rely or look to the Lord for inspiration and guidance, because there's just so much that is out there that we don't know, but it's good that we can always look to something or someone for guidance and support. So that's good. So now the question for Betty is, can you share a turning point where motherhood reshaped your career or career aspirations?
Oh, yes. Well, I will tell you, when my husband and I were engaged to be married, I told him I had no intention of bringing any children into this world, that maybe someday we could adopt. And he agreed to marry me anyway. And no sooner were we married and baby number one came along. And so I wanted to stay home with my child, and it was very different because I had a very strong idea of where I was going to go. I was going to go to college. I was going to have a very exciting career, but I had this baby And I was not going to leave this baby with just anyone. And I think, if my mom or my sister lived where I lived at the time, I had someone I trusted, it might have been different for me. But where I lived, I literally had no family, no friends at that time. It was just Doug, my husband, Doug, and I. So I decided to stay home. And then when that first child was about 2, to school for computer programming. I went to night school. And so my husband would watch her when I was at school at night. I was with her in the day when he was working. And as soon as I finished school, boom, I don't know how it happened, but here comes child number 2. So again, so my career got put on the shelf and I decided to stay home, and then boom, boom. So number 1, number 2 daughters, number 3, number 4 sons. So I put that career on the shelf and I decided, and I was fortunate, I decided that I would stay home and raise our children. And my husband wasn't really excited about that at first, that all the financial burden would be on him, but he came around. And now when we look back, those were very lean times for us. We struggled very much in those years. But I will tell you, for me, and for my husband, he is now very happy that we made that decision. Very thankful I got to stay home, raise my children. And then my career came after. So it changed everything. And I will tell you, and I hate to admit this, but I'm going to anyway, I was a little bit selfish. I just, I wanted this career. I wanted to make all this money. I had no idea how selfish I was being. But when I had that first baby and my heart melted, and then the second one, and I was so afraid I couldn't love the second one as much as I loved the first one. And you just do. And then the third one, same thing. Fourth one, same thing. Your love. God just gives us love that grows. It grows. It doesn't have a period at the end of it. And when the grandchildren came along, that is a whole nother kind of love. It's my reward for not hurting my children, letting them live. And my grandchildren, I adore them. You walk in the room and they run up to you, grandma, grandma, grandma. My kids, I don't remember them running up to me, mommy so much, but it's so different being a grandmother. It's just wonderful. And, through motherhood, God completely turned my selfish heart around to give it away, to not keep it for myself and race after money, but to pour myself out to my children. One of the best decisions my husband and I ever made, for sure.
Great. Well said. Kids are a blessing, and we thank God for that.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Atal Love Blessings.
What does Mother's Day mean to
It
you?
means to me that my mom is happy, she gets presents.
All right, ladies, we are at the tail end of the program, so go back to Lucretia. Lucretia,
Yes.
your final words to the mothers out there. What do you want them to know? Your takeaway message to the moms, old and young, listening out there.
Just remember, there is no book that can tell you how to be a mother, but do the best that you can, and whatever that your mom did not do and you did not like it as a child, remember those things and try not to put it on your own children. Be there for them, even in the midst of them telling you when they start talking, because they are going to start talking, and some of them, they talk a lot in certain stages. Just remember that there's no moment you can take back. So be very careful on those words that you plant into your children, and let them know that you love them, you're there for them, you can give them hugs and kisses. And even if you're a working mom, let them know that when you get off of work, you're going to say prayers with them, you're going to love on them, and you're going to do just the best you can. And be apologetic if you have not done things always the right way up to their liking or understanding. Let them know that mama's still learning how to be mom, and that we're going to get through this together. And when they're going through those teenage stages, just listen and put your ears on mute, because you're going to hear a lot of stuff. Don't be judgmental. Remember that you was a child before too. Remember you was a teenager and how you set your mom through things. And remember that you want to have a positive setting for them at home. So don't be yelling all the time. Don't be bickering. And if you need to, go to the park and just yell it out. Just get it off your chest and then go back home and smile and love on them kids the best way you can. And remember, self is very important. Take care of yourself. And you don't have to put yourself on hold. You just need to balance your time and ask God for grace and mercy and keep God first and prayer all the time. Prayer all the time. Whatever God you pray to, just pray all the time and ask Him to help you in the midst of your journey, and you'll be just fine.
Thank you. Well said. Amen to that. So, Barbara, what final message do you want the ladies, moms to know out there?
So my final words to the mothers out there, and I'm not just talking to mothers that have given birth to their own children. I'm talking to every woman. Just by being a woman, you're a mother. You're a mother to your children. You're a mother to your community. You are a mother to your siblings. You are a mother to the people around you. God put that in us. And so what I want to say to you is that don't lean on your own understanding. Let God lead you. Let God guide you. And I want you to know that motherhood is the greatest gift that we can get from God. God entrusts us with His children to raise them, to nurture them, the same way that He loves us. We are His children. He has shown us how He loves us. And so we are to love on our children. We are to love on the people that God has entrusted with us, to nurture them. We are to love them and just pray for them and bring them up in the fear of the Lord. So don't be afraid. Like Lucretia said, there is no manual. There's no way where you're going to know how to do it. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. We will just be there and just love them and raise them to the best of our knowledge. I think that's what I would encourage the women out there.
Thank you. Thank you. Well said. Betty, your final words to the mothers out there?
Okay, so I would say, first of all, be gentle with yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. We're never going to get everything perfect. But if you are leading with love, you're gonna do the right thing. The other thing is really important. Surround yourself with godly women who can come around you. We do need each other through these years of raising children. And when you see the women that are doing it well, keep an eye on them. Try to get close to them. Figure out what it is that they're doing, because I agree, Lucretia, what you said, there is no manual, and we're just trying to figure this thing out as we go. And it's really important to keep your loved one. Sometimes children, they will test your patience, and you might not feel very loving every moment. There are times when that's going to be difficult. But if we get on our knees, before God, He'll fill that love tank back up for us. And also, I want to say, don't be afraid to say no. One of the regrets in my parenting, I wish I had said no more. My kids tried to convince me that I was the meanest mom in the whole world, always saying no. Nobody else's parents say no, like you say no. That just wasn't even true. So if I could do it over, I would have said no a whole lot more. Yeah. Don't be afraid to say no. And the other thing I would encourage you, don't give up on them. Never, never give up on your kids. There will be times when at least in my case, I had a very unruly teenager who kept telling me this child was going to emancipate herself and she was going to move out and this and that. And finally, I came to a point where I gave her a big green garbage bag and I told her, get your clothes and get out. I had enough of her. And no sooner had she left the house and my husband and I went in our car and we're driving all around trying to find her. And praise God, of course we did, and brought her back home. And that's another regret. So I just want to put that out there because I certainly haven't done it perfectly. I made plenty of mistakes, but my two biggest ones are no more. I wish I had said no more. And the other one was never, never give up on them. And Lucretia, I love you said, go to a park and scream your head off if you need to. But don't give up. And no matter how much they say they're going to do this or do that, you know, they're still, even as teenagers, they're still children. They are still children. They have a lot of growing up to do. And I will encourage you to read Proverbs. Do you know there are 31 chapters in Proverbs, and there are 31 days in most months? So if you take whatever day of the month it is, and you just read that chapter of Proverbs, you will go through the book of Proverbs. I've been doing it for decades. And I learned so much about how to be a mom through the book of Proverbs, of all places. So yeah, I would definitely encourage moms to do that.
Thank you. Thank you. Well said. Ladies, thank you. And I wish you a happy Mother's Day. Hopefully we will reconnect sometime in future. But for now, enjoy your day and be blessed. Thank you. And
Thank you.
Thank you. Be blessed.
bye-bye.